adventurous, but not that adventurous.
Very cultured, you are, Leah.
Thank you. I tried my hardest. Have you tried mate? Mate, is that how you say it? I don't know. Franco's gonna scold us if we say this wrong.
Okay, I'll hunt Franco down at the weekend.
Hey everyone, welcome to Team Talk. I'm Leah Block.
And I'm Jamie Chadwick, and we're here at the Williams Fan Zone in Suntec City, Singapore. Is this your first time in Singapore?
It's my first time in Singapore.
How are you finding it?
It's hot. It's really hot.
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
Wait, actually,
You're
for
from
me,
Utah.
I'm from Utah, but it's dry hot. It's like you don't
Good
sweat
point.
at all.
Yeah,
It's just,
okay.
So here, even though it's like only 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it feels like 110.
It's like a sticky.
Because you just
heat.
go outside and you're just immediately like soaked in sweat.
Yeah, that's like, everyone says that's the worst bit about it. But
Yeah.
the city's cool. Have you had much time to explore?
I agree. I mean, it's like not really what I expected in a way, but in a way it was what I expected. But just driving here tonight, it was actually so pretty. Like under
It's
the
so nice
lights,
at night.
It's so cool.
I
And
agree.
even just driving over the bridge, you can see the pit lane and the front straight, and I'm like, ooh.
I came here before I raced here, just on a holiday, and it's crazy to think where the track is and actually where you race. And
Because
it's
like
insane.
we went to Jeddah at the beginning of this year, and technically it's a street circuit, but it's fixed. They're all year long. This is like true street circuit. The lines are still on the ground. You know, like it's quite crazy, and they only shut it down for 3 days out of the year.
Literally.
Like insane.
Have you had a chance to explore much of Singapore, food, anything? Got up to anything fun?
We went to like, I don't know, hawker stands. I think that's what they're called. If I'm butchering that, someone let me
Quite
know.
possibly.
But it's like an indoor food market with like these little stands of so many different food.
Yeah.
And we walked around there for an hour before we found something we wanted to eat. Because there was like chicken feet.
Oh, I know, it's so
I was
rude.
like,
You don't be having any of that.
I'm
before the
adventurous,
weekend.
but not that adventurous.
Maybe
So,
on Sunday after the race, but not.
No, and we went to the like an art district today. It was like these
cool.
small streets, and it was all like colorful and painted. So yeah, I think there's some hidden gems, but the city is so big and dense that you can't really find much.
I like how you and your family, you always end up like exploring, like you make the most of it. I feel like whenever I've come to places like this, I like track, hotel, that's it.
I feel like since this is like a place we haven't been before,
Yeah.
you know, it was good to come like 2 days early and be able to go and see the city that you're actually racing in, you know? And I think this is like a really different and special place in a way.
I agree,
it's definitely unique to go and see. So
Very cultured, you are, Leah.
thank you. I try my hardest, you know.
Speaking of culture, you've done this podcast before, right?
Well, yes.
I don't know why I said speaking of culture in this
Speaking
podcast.
of culture,
Because I was going to ask what your podcast topic of choice would be, but I've not done this podcast before, so this is my first time.
Rookie.
Yeah, rookie. You can teach me all about podcasting.
Podcast, like anything, like just talk for hours.
Just talk about anything.
I don't know. I feel like we talked about it the last time in Jeddah, and it was like conspiracy theories.
Oh.
Like I just want to hear other people's conspiracy theories because I think they're just so funny and so crazy.
I believe people too easily though. So
Really?
like, if you told me one of your conspiracy theories, I'd be like, okay, well, that's clearly true.
That makes total
That's
sense.
it, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that stuff is so funny.
I agree, that's a good one.
Yeah. What about you?
I like that. It's actually two things. I like true crime.
Okay.
Like that means I like true crime podcasts, but I don't know if I would have a true crime podcast myself.
Yeah.
But then I really like food, so like I would do something on like different restaurants or like. Actually, someone came up to me in the airport in Doha Airport, and he came up to me and I was like, maybe like I don't really get recognized, so he doesn't know who I am, and he goes, "Are you a food critic?" And I said, "No, I'm not, but I would love to be. So maybe that's my calling."
I think that maybe that's your life's calling right there.
That's it.
Going to be a food critic.
There you go.
That's great. So you came from the US, didn't you?
Yes.
You finished in the next series. What is your reflection?
Reflection's good.
Yeah.
I'm a bit upside down because I have just come from the US.
I don't know what time
I
you're
mean,
in.
I feel like for you during the season, you do quite a good job of coming over early, but it's quite hard
Kinda
coming
have
this
to.
way. Going the other way is easier.
Yeah,
I
much
find.
easier. When I go home, it's like, just gotta stay up late. You know?
Yeah. But it's been good. I mean, there's been like highlights in there. I got my first win, which I was really happy and proud about. But actually, when you like nitpick and reflect, like, I really feel like we should have got a lot more from the season.
Yeah.
We had a lot of, I hate the term bad luck, but we did have a lot of bad luck, a lot of things out of our control, certain things in my control as well. So kind of a bit mixed reflection. But overall, I mean, I love racing over there. I think
That's
you
cool.
know how it is. It's your sort of home country.
It's
but
kind of a bit chaotic compared to the European stuff in
yes,
a way.
that's like the best description. Chaotic.
Yeah.
It's a bit more relaxed, it's a bit more laid back.
I agree.
Which I like. It feels like it suits me a little bit more. I feel like, yeah, you kind of roll in. You have a bad day, someone puts their arm around you, goes, don't worry, we'll have a better day tomorrow. There's less kind of...
It's not like, why did you do
Yeah, no one's shouting
like,
at you. Well, that I've experienced anyway. Speaking about, differences, obviously very different over in Europe. Your first time racing over, I say Europe, we're in Singapore right now, but first time racing in what we call Europe. How have you found it? How's the F1 Academy been?
You know, I mean, it's not like great because I'd be so happy if I was winning, right? But other
That's
than
good,
that,
I'd be worried if you were like, it's great, it's perfect.
no, you know, I mean, overall, like the experience has been really cool. People I've met, you know, places I've gone, like it's been like overall a super like cool experience. I think just in terms of like racing and stuff, obviously it's been very frustrating coming from winning championships and being at the top of the field to going down and starting at scratch, you know, and trying to work my way up.
You.
So, like, I think it's just, for me, like, mentally having to step back and then be like, okay, I just need to make this small little goal to eventually make the N1, you know? But yeah, as long as, like, I just keep improving like I do every race, you know?
Honestly, I think that's the best approach. Like, I feel I had a very similar feeling last year. I went over into Indy Next and that was a bit of a disaster. Like, I was at the back and I was like, every weekend just mentally finding it really tough to kind of work out A, what was going wrong, but B, to enjoy it because like me, you enjoy doing well. But
I don't think we wouldn't be race car drivers if we didn't.
No,
so.
But I feel like off season's like a good time where it clicks. Like the season goes so quick. It's super tough for you because you're learning everything. Everything's new every weekend you go to. Like this place, never seen anything like Singapore, and like you get out and you got 30 minutes practice.
Right.
But next year's I think the time to like actually be able to make good steps. And I think you've just got to go through this year.
Yeah.
And you've just got to trust the process, go through it. You'll know it will be tough mentally, but as long as you're enjoying it, I mean, I look at like the experience. I obviously experienced a bit of it in W Series, and to me, it looks so cool. Like you're racing some of the best tracks in the world.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the tracks we've gone to are pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely unique that way, but I would say it's also hard just because, like, we have a month or 2 months in between each race, which is so weird from me, coming from being in rally and having so much seat time, rallycross and everything, and then coming here and you get like an hour in the car max a weekend, you know?
What would you say has been like the hardest bit? Like obviously like there's the obvious, like it's a completely different discipline, but like looking at it a little bit more closer, like is it the technique, like the feeling in the steering wheel, is it the braking? Like what's like the hardest thing do you think?
You know, I mean, I think it's trying to like force a slow car to go fast.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I did that at the beginning of my career in rally, doing front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive.
Yeah, and this is kind of in that way. You know, you just have to carry so much more momentum, like, and you have to create your own speed in a way. And also just these cars, you know, if you're not totally on the edge, you're not gonna be fast.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be on like the wall going out and just drifting it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think, that's probably just what's been the hardest, you know, in the way. And also just like refining everything because in rally you have 100 corners to stage.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to perfect each corner.
Yeah, you can lose a second or two, it's not.
But here, if you lose 2/10 in a corner, you're screwed, you know? Like, it's so fine and precise. So, probably the most difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I think the front wheel drive thing's interesting actually, because I did a bit of rally practice for Extreme E, and I found the front wheel drive car so difficult to drive. And they were like, no, you have to learn. And I was like, oh, it's so difficult.
Why not just go to four-wheel drive?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, because you did nitro at the weekend.
I did nitro, yeah.
Talk to me, what are those jumps like to hit? Because those look terrifying.
They look really big from the outside, but in reality, when you're hitting it like in the car, it goes over like this and you're on the ground.
Do you not even like, because there's like big gaps.
Yeah.
Do you not like...
No, because it's, I swear, it gets over so fast. So fast. But I think the only time I really get like super terrified is actually the first time we do the jump.
Yeah.
You know, because Travis will go out there and speed test it on his dirt bike, and someone's out there with a radar gun just checking his speed, and they're like, okay, so it's roughly 70 miles an hour. If you go a little over, I think you'll be fine. A little bit under, I don't know.
We had the same in Extreme E. We raced in the UK for this one race, and there was this jump. It wasn't a gap jump or anything like that, but it was just one sort of kicker, basically. And you know how that car used to kick the rear up? So they said, I think, go over I think it was like 70 miles an hour. It wasn't anything too quick or anything like that. So it was Katie Munnings that went over at exactly 70 miles an hour, and she goes over and just lands hard on the nose. And we're all watching it like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Like, can someone find out the speed?
Yeah, I would say the nitro cars definitely have better suspension than those Extreme E cars.
Yeah,
but
hopefully.
And it was cool for me to go back and do a rallycross race, because the last time I did it was the end of last year.
Yeah.
Only thing I've been doing this year has been open wheel stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and karting. So like it was cool to go back and like, oh, I do remember how to do this.
Yeah.
You know,
just
like,
enjoy it as well.
Exactly, and just it was nice because it was like no stress. I was there to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, not do anything crazy.
I mean, the whole thing is crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I kind of grew up around that stuff, so it's pretty simple for me in a way.
Nice.
But yeah, it was nice, and now we're in Singapore for an F1 race. So
your life is so cool. I want your life.
But yeah, anyways, it's pretty awesome. But hey, do you have any tips for me
for this weekend? So the year we came here, I had a really good season in W Series until we got here and it all went terribly wrong. So my
Didn't it pour during qualifying?
It did. So yeah, it rained, and actually there's a lot more grip than I expected in the wets.
Really?
So yeah, it's actually not as bad. I think the roads here must be designed for these big downpours.
Yeah, because they have them all the time.
Yeah, it's not as bad, and because it's still warm, it kind of dries out quite quick. But honestly, I think firstly, just enjoy it. I know I say that to you every single track, but like, do enjoy it, because there's no pressure. I know you'll put pressure on yourself, but there really is no pressure. So just try and experience it for what it is, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And then I'd say get after it a bit. I think everyone will say, you know, take it easy, build up. Like, obviously, there's the walls are super close. They are, but yeah. I think get after it. I think you're super good at like being confident on tracks like this. Like, you're really impressive at Jeddah. I think the more technical.
Yeah, I'm hoping the stuff I learned at Jeddah, you know.
Definitely. Like, you'll get after it. And I think, yeah, just take that confidence. You've not got much time. You've literally got...
No, 30 minutes and then go straight into qualifying.
Yes. So, yeah, you've not got much time. Just get after it. And then also, yeah, just hydrate.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so hot. Yeah, just lots of water, hydrate, and you'll be fine.
All right. Best tips. Got it. Okay. I think we have some fan questions.
Fan questions.
You want to read the first one?
We actually
Oh, wait, we already answered that today.
We answered the first one in the fan zone, but if people haven't heard it, we were asked if you had to eat one type of cake for the rest of life, what would it be?
You said carrot cake,
I said carrot cake, which I panicked and said, I keep doing this.
Panicked.
Yeah, I keep doing this. Someone asked
First
me.
one that came to my mind.
No, this is way worse. Someone asked me how I describe my season in a song, and I completely panicked. And I'd just been listening to Hot to Go by Chappell Roan, and I just said that, and then I was like, there is nothing about my season and that song, but
You're just on the spot,
yeah.
no idea what to say.
So I definitely need to do better on that. My favorite cake actually is coffee cake.
Coffee cake?
Coffee cake, like a cappuccino cake.
See, I'm the opposite. I don't like anything coffee, and I don't like carrot cake.
Oh yeah, you don't drink coffee,
No.
do you?
Mm-mm.
Maybe you might go into that.
Maybe, we'll see.
As long as you don't do the American like grande latte with like an extra pump of
grande latte.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's coconut cake for me.
Yeah, you said your mum makes a good coconut cake.
It's really good.
The next one is favorite self-care routine after a long weekend.
Ooh, that's a good one. I just like to go home and sleep.
Yeah, I was just about to say this. Mine is like
just sleep, basically.
Yeah, I'm a big and a good sleeper, so sleep is a big thing.
I've like trained my body to just like as soon as I get on a plane, anywhere, anytime, just straight to sleep.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, but I do like to do cold plunges at home.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
those are nice after a long weekend. Kind of like wake your muscles back up, but also recover.
They're so good. I feel like when you get out, you
feels really nice. It's torture inside, but once you get out, you feel really good.
You're gonna need those this weekend.
Okay.
And then the other one is like I always try and like eat really well, like a good meal after a long weekend. Because otherwise, I used to always have like a cheat meal. Like if I was driving back home racing in the UK, I'd like go to McDonald's or something like that. And then it's actually terrible for me. So now I try and eat well, like some good home cooked food.
Right. Okay. Do you have a pre-race habit?
I don't.
Really?
I maybe a habit. Like I don't have like a ritual. And I've always said it's because I forget things. Like I forget the ritual and then it's not a ritual anymore. Habit, I like to have an espresso shot.
Oh.
Depending on how I'm feeling, but espresso normally is like a little bit of like, I say habit because I sort of sit in the engineer's room and I have my espresso shot and that's kind of just something I do, but I don't think so. I think I just, get in the car. What about you?
I'm kind of the opposite. I have a routine. Like from the minute I go to the bathroom and then warm up and then it's all like planned out.
Choreographed.
And then, but the biggest one is I put my left glove on before my right glove.
I've heard this one a lot. Do you get in from one side of the car over the other?
I get on the right side.
So
I can't. I have to go. It just feels so weird if I don't.
These ones, but there was a girl that did F1 Academy race in Zandvoort in the wildcard entry. Nina, yeah. And she was interviewed and she listed all her like superstitions. And if you haven't heard it, everyone should watch it. It is wild. She lists
really,
like
there's a lot.
Like she has to have like an elephant in her pocket, like a toy elephant. There's all sorts. Like it's a whole...
I would not say that mine are superstitions. No. Just kind of like a routine for me. Like I feel like it gets my brain in like the place that it needs to be, kind of like, okay, telling my body like this is what we're gonna do now.
I think it's really good to have that, like just like routine. Like I say, if I wasn't quite so forgetful, I think I would have the same.
But Jamie can't do that.
Yeah. It's gonna be different every time.
Okay. Have you tried mate? Mate, is that how you say it? I don't know. Franco's gonna scold us if we say this wrong.
I watched this video of him and it had subtitles, so I thought he was just calling them mates, which is quite like an English thing to say.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe he's just grown up in the UK racing and he's just calling everyone mate. And he was coming in with his coffee like, all right, mate. And then now I know it's not. It's mate, I think, which is what? You've tried it?
I've tried it before. It's quite interesting. It's kind of tastes like a tea in a way.
Caffeine?
I don't do coffee.
Okay.
I do caffeine, but I don't really I don't do it in general. Yeah. Like I don't like energy drinks too much.
Yeah, I'm the same.
They taste kind of just too sugary to me.
You've got it's such a good thing to think of. How old is 17?
But I feel like it's bad sometimes. If I really do need to pick up like jet lag, I won't drink coffee, so I kind of just have to push through it. But I feel like mate was good.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of urban mate?
No.
It's kind of like in a can. It's a bit like sweeter than like regular mate. I feel like it's kind of tastes like a tea in a way.
Okay.
It's quite good.
Okay. I'll hunt Franco down at the weekend.
Yeah, you should try it.
So he's got his own little. He seems to have his own little pot of it.
Yeah, it's like a streamer in a way that they put the mate or whatever. I don't know. It's like a sort of leaves that they put in it.
I'm gonna pin him down.
I could just be speaking out of thin air, but I think I know. Like,
what are you guys talking about? Okay, I'll find him. I'll get some mate this weekend. And then the last one is, what is your favourite memory or moment from this year on and off track?
I know yours.
Yeah, it's boring. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to say something different. Okay, or on track, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Was the win. Off track, Working with you.
Oh, that's sweet.
No, honestly, off track, I would say, I feel like this year's gone so quick for me.
Same in a
need
way.
some time to like actually reflect, and I can come up with a better answer to this
Right.
at some point.
All right.
But I have really enjoyed having more things to do off track, like working with you. Like my whole life had been just myself racing constantly. So this is like probably the first year I've had other things on the go. Working with you, I've got this karting series with some young girls we're supporting.
That. It looks amazing.
And it's really, really fun actually to kind of get involved with kind of the young generation. So yeah, I'll say that. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like my whole year has been on track.
Yes.
But this year has made me really appreciate being home.
Yeah.
You know, and like seeing my family, because it's like I go home for 4 days and I'm away for a month, home for 4 days, away for a month. So I think I really have enjoyed being home this year, you know, off track, and just like being able to relax.
I get that. I mean, I complain about my travel schedule and then I see yours and it's probably 10 times worse. So it's a lot, but it's worth it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. So, you know, it's what we got to do in this sport.
No complaints. Wrap up. How do we wrap this up? Just walk off. Yeah.
Well, anyways, thanks for listening to us chatting for the last, I don't know, 20 minutes.
They're going to edit it down to like 5 minutes.
Anyways, I mean, hopefully we have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Singapore GP. But thanks for watching.
Thank you.